Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How are you guys doing today? So today we are making some shea butter whipped butter cream, okay? My youngest child has a severe case of eczema, had it all their life to the point where it has hyperpigmentation all over their skin. Their skin color is not even, it's a darker color, when in actuality, if you look like right up in here on their ear, you can see what color their skin is naturally. So not finding anything out there. Some things will help treat it, some things won't. And the ones that do, eventually her body just says, hey, look, I'm used to this, you're not gonna heal me. So I purchased 5 pounds of Shea, raw Shea butter, okay? Raw Shea butter. And when I touch it, my finger presses in. That lets you know it's soft and it is real. It's not that hard butter. So I'm gonna try to make my own for the first time. I've been watching a bunch of videos. The one that I'm going with though is Mrs. Rama's video. I am using today the rose hemp oil. This oil right here is supposed to be mimicking your skin and helping to heal any discoloration, and very good for acne, eczema. And then I'm also using jojoba oil. And I should have ordered one like this, but I didn't. And last minute I decided that I would use it because I don't want to have a whole bunch of ingredients inside of the container. I want to be able to know if they are allergic to something that's in the container. I know exactly which ingredient it is. I wanted to use vitamin E, but when I looked on the back of it for ingredients, it had a whole bunch of different ingredients, and it also had almonds in it, and my child is allergic to any kind of tree nut. Even if they smell it, it has an effect on them. So these are the two that I am using in hopes that it will help treat their skin. So let's get right into it. So I will be doing, you can do as many of this as you want, is what she was saying, like whatever you're lacking in your skin and your hair, because this is a hair and body cream. You can use as much or as little as you want. I'm gonna use a little more. I'm probably gonna use about 3 teaspoons of this, but I'm only going to use 2 teaspoons of the jojoba oil. So I don't have a scale to measure, so I'm eyeballing enough to put them in these jars right here that I just purchased. So these right here are 4-ounce containers. I had some 8-ounce containers, but I didn't want to use those because I use those for canning because I can my own food here. So I'm going to be using these 4-ounce jars right here, really cute. They have the quilts on them. It has a space right here where you can put a label. I even bought some labels as well, if I can figure out what I did with them, but we're not going to worry about those right now. So I'm going to get a few of these jars washed out, and I also bought the little sample size ones, so if you want to carry it in your pocketbook, or I'm doing this for my son as well because he has acne coming in on his face every now and then. Let me make sure I say every now and then. You know, being in college, not eating the healthiest as you can eat, your body is retaining a lot of things and is showing up on his skin. So he's a big picky person about, he doesn't like to have breakouts. So he's been at me about doing this for a while. I've done this before, but I have never done it where I'm actually adding my own oils to it. And he enjoyed it. His hair was nice and soft. And that's another thing with my youngest child. Their hair is so super duper dry. I mean, super duper dry. Like you could put something on it and 10 minutes later, it's like you've not put anything on it. It just soaks up everything. So I'm hoping that this will help with that if I can get them to use it every single day. And hopefully I can see some results in that in about 2 weeks or so. So let's get into making this because I'm going to use this bowl right here. I'm gonna cut up some of this shea butter here, and then I'm going to melt it down. Now, how I'm melting it is I'm using a double broiler method. I'm not putting this in the microwave or anything like that. You don't want to nuke it. You want to keep all the nice minerals in the oils that you're making. So it'll be a double broiler. The shea butter will go in here. This will sit on top of a pot, and the heat will melt it. And it doesn't take long to do that. And so let's get busy. So here are the little jars that I bought. I bought the wrong sizes, of course, was not paying attention. I thought I was buying bigger ones, but these will work just fine because these are like little 0.7 ounce jars that you can just stick in your glove compartment or stick in your purse and take along with you. So I will be putting some in there. I also bought something to squeeze the shea butter. I bought like a piping bag or whatever. You could just use a Ziploc bag and clip the end and squeeze it into the jar after you've whipped it up and everything. So excuse the dishwasher, but I need to do about 3.25 cups in order to get 26 ounces. So I'm gonna try to measure out in this cup. I'm gonna be a little off. I'm already knowing that, but your shea butter should cut just like butter. It should not be hard to cut, and I didn't want to use like coconut oil because they say coconut oils are not good for people who have eczema. I like how this is cutting. So like I said, this is not going to be even. So that's 1 cup, and I'll be back once I get the rest of them put in. Okay, so as you can see here, I also cut them into smaller pieces. They're not all the same. That way they will warm up uniformly and it won't take that long. So now I'm about to put it over the stove. So all you want to do is have a pot with some water in it. I just turned it on, and you're just gonna sit that on top, and it's gonna start to melt down. Take you a silicone spatula and stir it to mix it, and I'll show you what it should look like when it's almost done. So once you get your shea butter melted down to about like this, and you only have like a few clumps left in it, that's fine. You can take it off of the heat, which is what I'm about to do, and then we can add the essential oils to it. So now that the shea butter has melted, I'm about to add 2 teaspoons of jojoba oil to the mixture. Next, we're going to add our rose hip oil to it. Again, I am adding 3 teaspoons. You can add 2, just whatever you feel like your skin and hair needs. If you want to add any more oils, you are welcome to it. I'm going to limit mine to just these 2, and I'm going to mix this up right now with my silicone spatula and then stick it into the freezer for about 20 minutes. Okay, so it has been, I only left it in there for 15 minutes. You can leave it in there for 20. You just want it to get a cast over it, and it has a cast over it, which means you have some really good shea butter. My insides aren't as solid, and that's fine. We're gonna stir it up. And you want to do this till it is as thick as you want it to be. I want it to the point where it's not falling off like that. See, that's a good thickness right there. See that? Not falling off. That's what you want. See how dry my skin looks right now? Intentionally didn't put any oils on my skin because I wanted you to see. Especially my hands. They're so dry from washing them all day. But that is what I want. It feels so silky smooth on my skin. The fragrance is not overwhelming because honestly, I did not put any fragrance in it this time. The next time I will be adding lavender. This feels so good on my arthritic hands. Okay, so let's get to how we're going to get this put away. And so you can see that is what you're looking for. So what I'm going to do is different. I'm just gonna put it on the spatula and put it in like that. So much easier. I was trying to be cute. Get it in there with the little rings. But honestly, you guys, this is way better. And it's less product that you're losing. Still want to tap it. Get the air pockets out. See if you can squeeze any more in there. I'm gonna put this here because it's gonna hurt my hand if I keep doing that. Part done, so I'm just gonna show you me doing one. And these are just mason jars, so you're basically putting that lid on it like that. And then your ring. Then once you have that on, you can get it washed up and get that greasy filling off of the jar and let it dry, or you hand dry it, and then put your label either, they have a place on these jars for it. I think it's right here. You can put your label right here, what it is, or you can put it on the top. But yeah, but once you start working with any kind of cream or whatever like that, you're gonna get the greasiness or whatever, at least it's gonna feel that way, but it's not overwhelming. And my skin is softer than it was when I started, and it's definitely sheen without, oh my God, I'm gonna leave a greasy, you know, if my husband grabs my hand, oh my God, his hand's greasy, he probably needs it anyway. But I'm just saying. So I have all of my jars. Sturdy jars because I just dropped them all on the floor and they did not crack, and I have hardwood floors. So you guys, this right here, this is so worth it. It is so worth it. Try it. It is so worth it. But I thank you guys for joining me here on the channel, and I hope that if you're having situations with dry skin, itchy scalp, hair dryness, which I have that issue as well, that you will think about trying to do it for yourself, because the less ingredients you use, the better off you will be in the long run. I can't tell you how many times I've used so many things that I thought was good for my child, and it really turned out not to be good for her, because it had almond extract or some kind of tree nut in it, and I didn't realize, I didn't realize that using coconut oil would be bad for people who have eczema, because I know that it can be an anti-inflammatory. So I figured, well, let's use that. Well, that made the situation even more worse. So I will let you guys know how this turns out as I monitor them and myself with my own hair in the dryness of it, how it works. Anybody can use this, does not matter the race, any skin, hair texture on your scalp can use this. So this is the eczema that my child is dealing with. It's all underneath the arm, in the creases of the arm, on the neck, the chest, the back of the legs, those places. So, and your ears, yeah. And you can feel the bumpiness. You can kind of see the redness right here too. So we definitely gonna be using this, and I will let you guys know how it works for them.